We are here on the USS Lexington in Corpus Christi, Texas.
There's water in it? You can't do it.
No, there's no water in there.
Oh, with that one? Oh. Later.
Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, Sunday, December 7, 1941. It was a fateful day, the start of World War II for the United States, and a turning point in history. At 6:10 a.m., with a carefully prepared and practiced attack plan, the Japanese Empire launched a wave of 183 fighters, bombers, and torpedo planes from aircraft carriers engulfed in rough seas. As they headed for the Hawaiian island of Oahu, Japanese pilots used a Honolulu radio station broadcast as a guiding beam. At 7:02 a.m., two pilots manned the Army's Ohana Mobile Radar Station, called the hub of the radar network, Fort Shafter, to report that they had spotted a large group of aircraft on a direct bearing to Oahu. The duty officer replied, "Well, don't worry about it." He thought that the radar had picked up a flight of American B-17 Flying Fortress bombers due to Hickman Field from California that morning. Then, at 7:33 a.m. Hawaiian time, President Roosevelt and General George C. Marshall sent a warning to the commanders of the U.S. Army and Naval Forces in Hawaii. American codebreakers had deciphered a Japanese diplomatic message instructing Japanese negotiators to break off all talks with Washington at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. But due to atmospheric interference, the message did not reach the commanders until after the attack. "7:55 a.m. The first wave of Japanese planes reached Pearl Harbor. The Japanese have achieved total surprise. There were 49 high-altitude bombers, 51 dive bombers, 40 torpedo planes, and 43 Zero fighters. The coordinated attack began with dive bombers striking the Army and Naval Air Forces on Oahu. The Japanese, wanting control of the air, had to destroy the American warplanes on the ground. They succeeded. The explosions started. Loud booms, pillars of smoke, and low-flying enemy aircraft shocked everyone into the realization that this was not a training exercise. Pearl Harbor was really under attack. There were 10 American battleships at Pearl Harbor. Seven were at battleship port at Rhode Island. One battleship, Pennsylvania, was in dry dock for repairs. 8:10 a.m. 15 minutes after the attack began, an armor-piercing bomb dropped by a high-altitude bomber pierced the forward deck of the Arizona, setting off more than a million pounds of gunpowder, creating a huge fireball and killing 1,177 men. In only 9 minutes, the Arizona was lying at the bottom of the harbor. 8:17 a.m. Through the flames and smoke, the destroyer Helm sped toward the open sea. As the helm left the channel, a lookout spotted a Japanese submarine. The helm attacked. The submarine commander was forced to beach his sub to prevent it from sinking. He was captured and became America's first Japanese prisoner of war in World War II. 8:39 a.m. As the destroyer Monahan tried to get out of the harbor, a nearby American ship signaled that it had sighted a submarine. The Monahan headed for the sub at top speed. At 8:43 a.m., Monahan hit it with gunfire, rammed it, and dropped depth charges. In the weeks after the attack, the sub was recovered with the Japanese crew still on board. The midget sub and its crew were used as landfill to make repairs to the sub base at Pearl Harbor. At 8:54 a.m., during a short lull in the attack, the USS Nevada, despite her damage, managed to get underway and start down the channel toward the open sea. Before she could clear the harbor, a second wave of aircraft that had launched 30 minutes after the first wave, consisting of 35 fighters, 78 dive bombers, and 54 high-altitude bombers, appeared over the harbor. The Japanese concentrated their attacks on a moving battleship, hoping to sink her in the channel and block the narrow entrance to Pearl Harbor. On orders from the harbor control tower, the Nevada beached herself at Hospital Point, and the channel remained clear. Japanese bombers also attacked the Navy Yard dry docks and bombed the battleship Pennsylvania. In front of the Pennsylvania, another bomber hit oil tanks located between the destroyer's Cassin and Downs. The Cassin's onboard ammunition exploded, sending her rolling off the blocks and crashing into the Downs. Both ships were severely damaged. Bombs also hit the light cruiser Raleigh, which had already been torpedoed during the first wave. 9:30 a.m., a bomb blew off the bow of the destroyer Shaw, sending shrapnel and pieces of the ship raining down a half-mile away. At 9:45 a.m., the attack on Pearl Harbor was over. By 12:14 p.m., after recovering its aircraft, the Japanese attack force began its long journey home. It had happened so quickly. The attack had lasted 110 minutes, just under 2 hours. In that time, 21 ships of the U.S. Pacific Fleet had either been sunk or damaged. 188 aircraft were destroyed and 159 damaged. A total of 2,403 American servicemen and women were dead, and 1,178 were wounded. During the attack, 68 civilians had also been killed and 35 wounded. Japanese losses were comparatively light. 65 men, less than 10% of the attacking force. 29 aircraft had failed to return to their carriers. Also, of the 5 midget subs sent to attack Pearl Harbor, 4 were sunk and 1 was captured. On December 8, President Roosevelt solemnly began his speech before Congress.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. I ask that the Congress declare that since the unprovoked and dastardly attack by Japan on Sunday, December 7th, 1941, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
The United States declared war and entered World War II. In the 44 months of war that followed the attack on Pearl Harbor, the U.S. Navy would sink every Japanese aircraft carrier, battleship, and cruiser in the Hawaii Strike Force. The surprise attack on Pearl Harbor created a national result which turned America's worst military defeat into its greatest triumph.
This is the part of ship where everyone was sleeping. These are their drawers. Oh, they got the one there. Now open. Only $10. Sorry, we are temporarily closed. $17.60 to $77. That's pretty good, I guess. I think. So I'm at the top of the deck right now. that was that side of the ship. Now we're gonna see this side of the ship. This is more of a modern plane. It looks like the one Tom Cruise flies in Top Gun Maverick. Okay, yes, this is the one flown in Top Gun Maverick. See, right here. Using filming of the 1986 movie Top Gun, starring Tom Cruise, Kelly McGillis, and Val Kilmer. Blue Angels. A lot of aluminum on this flight. Nothing but blue.
Walk the plank.
These are the stairs we have to take between each level. This is so steep. Take 2 or 3 at a time, at least.
3 floors. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
3 more.
Okay. My mom said there's more. That's sad. I'm getting such a good workout. This is why my calves are so big. I'm skipping a lot of it because it's pretty boring. It's just a bunch of rooms here and there. This is where the captain and the pilots stay. Voice tour. Hello, subscribe to me. Thank you.
There's a golfer heading away from us. Is that out of the way? There's lots of other things that I don't know. It should be like different because each one has like about 2 arrows pointing.
That was the right side of the ship. Now we're gonna do the left side of the ship. These were all the higher ones. Now we're gonna go to the lower decks and show you guys around.
This is saloon.
Yeah, this is a saloon.
That's the one I was talking about.
No, it's for haircut.
Laundry.
Look at all these planes that they have here. That's a lot of planes. These are
You want to come again?
more
Sleep here.
beds here
Sleep and
below the main deck.
Why more beds?
This next part is like so much about the women of the Navy.
This is where they eat.
Yeah.
That's so funny. No, wait, what?
Can you believe Congress finally passed a law allowing women in the Navy to become admirals? About time. Back in my day, we nurses could stroke a hospital.
Ha, back in my day. Wow. They even have escape shuttles. Right hand. This is my right. Wait, this is my.
eye level.
This is my eye level. Maybe I have to come back. Oh. Moments like these are super rare where I actually get to sit down. Trivia. Wow. I don't know. I'm gonna skip the board. This is a game we can practice doing this stuff. Will he make the landing? No.
This is landing gear. It's too late for landing.
And measuring instruments, which are commonly found in a machine shop. That is all. Carry on.
The machine shop.
Hey, bro, why do he look like that?
This is the kitchen where we get our food. This is the mess line where we can take food and go. Vegetable and butcher shop. Now I have to take. It's time for my dentist appointment.
Now hear this, now hear this. Welcome to D Division, better known as the Dental Department. During Lexington's 40 years of service in the U.S. Navy, this feather room dental clinic was one of the busiest areas on the ship.
This is where they sat down to eat their food. More dental offices, I guess.
Now hear this, now hear this. Welcome to D Division, better known as the Dental Department. During Lexington's 40 years of service in the U.S.
Chief's
Navy,
office. This is all the fighting stuff. These are the boom booms, better known as bombs. These are cannons. This is the B-2 bunker buster bomb that was used the other day in Iran to take out that underground bunker. So this was actually designed super stealthily by an Indian who was later locked up in prison so that the idea wouldn't come out. This one is probably the biggest plane here. This is inside the place where I showed everything. It's the B-2 bomber. The timelines are on top. These were the oldest planes. Actually, wait, no, never mind. Big guy. There are even ships here too. This is the biggest ship here. This is all the medical side. Look at this surgery room. Oh, X-ray, never mind.
Emergency.
Optical. This is the diet pantry. This is where the surgery goes on. This is probably the waiting area for everything. Isolation rooms. These are probably sick bunks. This is a church inside the ship. This is inside of the gift shop. This person was, I don't remember what role she played, but she was on this ship. We had to leave. This concludes our video. They just closed. Bye guys. See you in the next one. This is the exterior of the ship. This is a ship on the outside of the USS Johnson. Again, this is here in Corpus Christi, Texas.